Alright, welcome back everybody. This is the Academy of Advanced Conjuration Skyrim modding mini-series. I am the Crassin, as always, and this is Episode 3. Well, we have 3 new expert level summonses, and there's been a lot of movement in our lineup. So this came about mostly because of 2 reasons. And we'll get into all that in a minute, but we do have a new apprentice level melee summons. What brought this about was the fact that what I had before, we have the familiar, the novice level that comes with the game. Then I created the apprentice level summons, the devil dog, and then the adept level summons was a hellhound. And I was just feeling a little hounded out, I kind of looked at that and I'm like, wolf, dog, wolf. I feel like I'm kind of, lacking a little creativity there. So I can't do anything about the familiar. And I was not going to do anything about the hellhound because I really like that one. So the devil dog had to go. So I decided to create a new apprentice level melee summons, and that one was a skeleton. It was going to be a sword and shield warrior. I was calling it the Skeletal Guardian, but it was not using the shield. I gave it a shield, gave it a sword. It was doing its job, but it was not using the shield at all, which really irritated me because if you remember our apprentice level frost mage, the Skeletal Conjurer, that thing would summon a skeleton and then it'd start throwing down frost magic. But the skeleton it summoned was using a sword and shield, and I'm like, what the heck is going on? So in the end, what I ended up doing was taking the Skeletal Minion that the Skeletal Conjurer was using, and I promoted that one. Let's actually take a look at this guy. He's called, well, it's still got the same name, Skeletal Minion. So let's take a look at this guy. Oh, that's right. This one's still set for cast with the left hand because this was for a skeleton to summon. So I need to change that out, but. See, this one's willing to use the sword and shield. Well, I mean, the other one used the sword, it just wasn't using the shield. Well, it's amazing how angry these bandits get. Looks like he's getting his ass kicked, doesn't it? I bet my boy will. One more, man. He's all yours. Come on, stop showing off and get after him. I'm getting pelted with arrows here. Do something.
True Nords never back down.
Watch it. He's got a dagger. Just in time. As you can see, I don't have the, the Atromancy perk. So there's still just a single minute. So you're probably wondering, well, if you did that, what's the deal with the Skeletal Conjurer now? Is he just doing frost magic or what? We're going to get into that in a second. We'll take care of the rest of these idiots. Alright, come on, one more. Well, 2 more, actually. You coming?
Boost! Is someone there? Someone there?
Alright, they're all yours.
Found you.
I think he's a level 10, so he's fairly tanky for an apprentice. Look at that. That boy's all out of breath already. He blocks, not really well, but he does block. Alright, so the Skeletal Conjurer has, let's just say he's been promoted and retrained, and we have a new apprentice level Frost Mage, and his name is Chiller. So I gave him the Ghost Frost ability, as you can see here. I'm not sure I'm going to keep that with him, though, because he's a little hard to see out here on a bright sunny day. He can disappear. He has that Frost Cloak, the modified one. It's half strength. And what else did I give him? I think just a Frost enchantment on his sword and Frostbite. So we're going to head down to Falkreath because I think we're going to do a little testing with some of the new stuff on pretty much anyone and everyone in town. That'll be fun. Well, there's some bandits over here. We can go kick the crap out of these things. So let me tell you about the other little issue I was having. I created 3 new expert level summons as a Fire Mage, a Frost Mage, and a Shock Mage. The Fire Mage was, let's see, I don't remember if I actually read the book of this one or not. Yeah. Igniculus. I know it's a weird name, but I think it's a Latin word for fire. But it's a Dragon Priest. I gave him Blaze Flames and a Staff of Incinerate. He does okay, but just okay, despite having all that firepower. And I think, again, it comes down to humanoid versus non-humanoid. He's just kind of slow to be getting his spells out. So, honestly, I was a little disappointed. He's okay, but I was like, man, at expert level, I was expecting a little bit more. Now, with the Frost level, the Frost Mage, expert level Frost Mage, I created a Frost Matron, which was, I started with a Spriggan Matron, and I gave it that Frost spell you saw with the Glacial Spectre, that Dragon Breath spell. And that one was an even bigger disappointment. It was very slow in using that, and it was really ineffective, and the adept level Frost Mage I had was way, way, way better. So I was pretty disappointed in that. And even with this one, even with the Fire Mage here, I think Blaze was doing a better job. Blaze was just more aggressive using that flame spell. So then I made a shock summon, and this one I decided to use a vampire because I'm like, okay, well, I don't want to use too many humanoids in this like I did with the other mod, but it's like, well, I hadn't used that many yet. I'll go ahead and do this one humanoid, but I'll make it a vampire, right? And this one was going to be the shock summon. So I gave this vampire, this expert level summons, Thunderbolt, Sparks, and Dread Zombie. And when I tested it, it would not use any spells, but it's Drain Life. That was the only thing it would use. So I went back in there, I took away the Drain Life, and then it wouldn't use anything but Sparks. It still would not reanimate anything. And I made sure there's plenty of dead bodies going around. It did not reanimate a single thing. So, and I think I went and took away Sparks. And then it was using the Thunderbolt, but it was very slow, very sparingly using it. I was spending more time running around. It still didn't reanimate anything. So I was like, okay, well, this sucks. This is no good. So I had 3 expert level summonses, and the best of the 3 was just okay. And in every case, I'm thinking the adepts are better. They're just flat out better. You know, the electrician, the Glaciator, Blaze, they were just better. So I said, you know what? I'm just going to make them the expert levels. So I beefed up their health and magic a little bit. And I think I gave them the second augmented perk. I upped the damage of their spells a little bit, but not too much, like maybe 6 points or something. So they're doing really well. But in doing that, I created, you know, I still have 3 gaps to fill. Now I just have the adepts to fill. Well, I had already taken the Skeletal Minion and made that one an Apprentice level melee summons. So I thought, well, you know what? I'll take the Skeletal Conjurer. I'll make that an adept level and give that one shock spells. So now we have Kilowatt. This is our Apprentice level shock mage. Now, Kilowatt is the same character. I just, you know, promoted and retrained him like I do. But I still kind of like the idea that how this one would summon that skeleton to help out. And I was thinking, you know, maybe I'll keep that. But instead of summoning a skeleton, Kilowatt here, or adept level shock mage, summons Voltinator. You remember Voltinator? That's our apprentice level shock summons. Well, this guy right here summons Voltinator. Some of these bandits go down pretty easy, but some of them are kind of tough. There you go. Yeah, I'm going to stand here if you hit me with that. Uh-oh. Okay, these bandits are a bit tough, or... Uh-oh. Okay, we need to take care of you first. This is not making my spells look very good. Summon your friend. Alright, well... let's try... let's get something a little bit tougher in here. These bandits are a little higher level than what they were last time I came through here.
Lucky hit.
Can't wait to count out your coin.
He's a dog. He doesn't have any coin. Do you? Go ahead. Oh, that's right, buddy. Alright, well, 3-on-1, you know, I'm not getting involved. I guess that was a little tough for those guys. But we'll get a look at him again when we get down in Falkreath. But I think that's a pretty good combination here, actually, despite them getting thumped a little bit by 3 bandits. But these guys are pretty tough. So... again, he looks just like the Skeletal Conjurer, same guy. But he has lightning bolt. Actually, no, he has chain lightning, but without the area effect, because he does summon Voltinator, which is the apprentice level shock summons. And he has the shock cloak and an axe with a shock enchantment. So he's doing a pretty solid job. But then I still had an adept level fire mage slot to fill and an adept level frost mage. So I thought, you know what? I might do the same thing I did with this guy. And I created Cauterizer. Cauterizer is a female Dunmer. and she will summon embers. This is actually a pretty potent combination because, you know, being a humanoid, she can throw down spells a lot faster than a skeleton can. And then for the Frost Mage, I created, this one is a male Nord, and he's called Permafrost. So the way I have it set up here, this one and Cauterizer there, they both have Apprentice level spells. He has Ice Spike, and Cauterizer there had Firebolt. So they're not Adept level spells, they're Apprentice level spells, but, you know, this guy will summon Chiller, and he can throw down magic pretty fast. So Kilowatt, who's the Adept level Shock Mage, he has a 40-point spell. It's a lot more potent, because, you know, being a skeleton, he's only got the one hand to cast spells with, and he's kind of slow with it, so I gave him a little stronger spell to work with. Oh, I forgot to mention, we're going to go look at some real estate when we're done here, because this is the Academy of Advanced Conjuration. We're going to need a facility somewhere. We're going to need a building. Now, I've been doing some really crude sketches on paper, which is how I start a lot of things, but I have a pretty good idea in mind of what I want the building to look like. Let's see if I can get this guy's attention. Okay, guards are pretty tough, so I don't know how successful they're going to be. Yeah, she's doing some damage. Let me hook up Permafrost here. We'll get a look at this one. Almost got this guy. There you go. Permafrost will summon Chillers, and then he'll start chucking out the Ice Spikes. Now sometimes they'll hit their summoner in the back, which is why I don't want them to have AoE spells.
You have committed crimes against Skyrim and her people. That can be arranged.
Do your work.
Alright, you guys. Let's clean things up a little bit.
Going to cry now, huh?
Maybe. Why? Only if you call me a milk drinker. See, just hit him in the back. So, I mean, it happens, but that's why I don't want him to have AoE spells. Ow! Man, that was me, damn fool. Alright, let's try Kilowatt again. Anybody and everybody. Anybody's fair game.
That the best you can do?
See, if these two gang up on a guard with that interruption, they'll take him out. I think the fire mages are better. Let's get Cauterizer again. Come on, summon your boy again. She's holding her own. If they get all their... Boy, they really do a number on the summons. But that's what he's there for, really, is to be a distraction. So this little plot of land right here is what I'm looking at for the facility, for the actual academy. Because if you're going to call it an academy, you should have a building. You should have some kind of a facility, right? So this place is right outside Falkreath. As you can see, we're just to the west of it. And that's one of the advantages of this place, is that it is right outside of town. And it's on this main road. Of course, that road goes to Helgen, which is nothing anymore, but still, it's a good location here. And I talked about this before, that, you know, the College of Winterhold is way up north, and anywhere in the south half of Skyrim, if you want to get spells up to adept level, you only have the court mages at Markarth, Whiterun. I have so much trouble with that word, Whiterun, and Riften. But those only go to adept level. You can't get anything above that. And I thought, you know, let's go to the opposite end of Skyrim and put something in the south. And there's no court wizard in Falkreath, so I think this is a good place for it. Now, the downside of this one right here is the actual plot of land is a little bit small, because we have a pretty large hill right there, and the ground slopes down quite a bit in that direction. So as far as how much room I have for the building I plan to make, I don't know if this is going to be big enough. Maybe. And the other thing I have to look into is the fact that I'm planning on starting a new Let's Play, and I may include some city and town enhancements or expansions. And I don't know if how far those expand the city borders or the city limits, so there could be potential conflict in the terrain this far out. Probably not, but it could be. So that's another thing I have to look at. So we got two other places to look at. Look at that beautiful sunrise. Thank you, Arundel, for those amazing, amazing sunrises. This is the other spot I'm looking at, or one of the other spots. Same thing here. I mean, it is right outside of town. It's right along this road that runs north out of Falkreath. Lake Ilonalta is just up there. But again, it's the actual plot of land is a little bit small. It might be a little bit too small for what I want to do. So we've got one more to look at. Alright, so this is the last place I'm looking at. The two top places, there's actually three other ones, but I'm not going to bother showing those because there's less a chance I'm going to use any of those. I'm not going to rule them out, but they're in the same area. But this one and the one outside of Falkreath are the two most possible locations. And the benefit of this one, let me show you where we are on the map first. Actually, right down that little path right there is... Alright, not that path over there. Down that path is Moss Mother Cave, where Valdar and his Lucky Dagger are. And Half Moon Mill. Half Moon Mill is right there. This is the road that heads down the hill. Now, the advantage to this place is obvious. It's a big, open, very flat area. I can put a nice size building in here. I don't have to do any terrain work other than maybe remove a couple of plants and maybe a couple of trees and tree stumps, but I don't have to do any real terrain work. Nice, big, flat, open area. Lots of room to build. So this is It's not close to town. That's a disadvantage, but if you want to build something, this is a great spot to do it. And I always wonder if maybe this was the place the developers were originally planning to put Lakeview Manor. Because it looks exactly the same. I mean, it's one of the flattest little plots of land anywhere in Skyrim, just like where Lakeview Manor gets built. And I have to wonder if maybe that's what their intentions were, and they said, well, let's call it Lakeview Manor, and then they realized that there's no Lakeview from here, so they moved it down there. I gotta wonder if that's what happened. Anyway, this one's probably the top choice. Like I said, the building I have designed it has a little bit of a footprint. It's not big, but it's got a little bit of a footprint, and this place will work perfectly for it. Which way? North is that way. So again, the lake, and over there's the mill. Alright, so that is almost everything for this episode. I really like the lineup the way it is right now. I really like what we have, so let's take a look at everybody again real quick. We will start with our Apprentice Levels. It's our Fire Summons, Embers. Our Apprentice Level Frost Summons, Chillers. I may be taking away this ghost effect he has. I really like it, but outside in a bright sunny day he can be hard to see. But I don't know. We'll see. I like the effect. You know, maybe I should give him that. You know that smoky poison effect I think you get with the what's that? The ebony male. Maybe I'll see if I can give him that effect. At least he'll show up a little bit better. It doesn't have to do anything, just for a visual impact. All right, our Shock Mage at the Apprentice level is, of course, Voltinator. And the Skeletal Minion. It's our Apprentice level melee summons. Whoops, wrong one. I gotta switch that. I wrote that down and I forgot to do it before recording, but anyway, there's our Skeletal Minion. He does a respectable job as a Apprentice level melee unit. Keeps stuff tied up. And then we have the Undead Bowman. It's the archer that probably won't see a whole lot of work, but there he is. Then at the Adept level, we'll start with the fire again. We have Cauterizer. Cauterizer summons embers. And the Frost Mage is Permafrost. Male Nord. He summons Chillers. And our Shock Mage is Kilowatt. And Kilowatt summons Voltinator. And our... Where are you? Hellhound. Our Adept level melee unit. Now, at the Expert level, Blaze, Burnt Spriggan. I took away, I think I mentioned this, but if not, I took away the flesh spell. I gave her Flame Cloak. Because you're all about the fire, you know what I mean? It's in your name. You're a Burnt Spriggan. She's like, Yeah, no shit, buckwheat. I thought you were getting ready to attack something. Okay, then we have Glaciator. I replaced his spell with Icy Spear. So he's pretty efficient. This guy, I've seen him take down 2 giants simultaneously. He's pretty potent. And then our shock summons is, of course, the Electrician. He doesn't look like much, but he packs a punch. And I don't have an expert level melee summons. Well, I have something I'm working on, so we don't really need one because we have the Dremora Lord. But I'm working on something that I may include. Oh, I forgot, at the adept level we have the Rogue Vigilant and... what was the name of the other one? We have another Archer. Skeletal Archer. Right? Skeletal Marksman. Forgot about that. Ebony Bow and Arrow. Skeletal Marksman. And then we have the Rogue Vigilant. Now he's wearing the gauntlets and the boots, but I don't know why he's not wearing the right robes. You're really annoying me, but you do good work, so I'm going to tolerate you for a while. You got that? Alright, that's everybody for right now, but there's at least, I think, 3 more summonses I'm going to add. They don't really fit into any specific category. I think 2 are going to be experts and 1's going to be a master. They're a little bit unique, but we'll have to take a look at them in later episodes. Because I've got to start constructing a building, probably here. And we got a lot to do. There's also, I think, 8 spells that I have that are conjuration spells, but they don't summon anything. But they will be useful to the conjurer or the necromancer. So that's something else I need to work on. So there's still a lot more to do with the mod, but I'm pretty happy with our current lineup. There's been a few others that I've made that I can't get them to do what I want them to do. I think I know why. I'll get into that later. I haven't given up on them yet, but I don't think they're going to do what I want. But anyway, that's where we're at for now. We should have a few more, at least 1 or 2 new summonses for next episode, and get the first parts of the building in place. So that's going to be it for now. Thanks for watching. Take it easy, and I will see you in episode 4 of the Academy of Advanced Conjuration mod development.